How many times have you walked into your laundry and felt overwhelmed by the chaos? If you've ever wished for a simpler, more organised way to handle your laundry, you're in the right place. Today on Simply Happy Conversations, I'm going to be diving into a step-by-step guide designed to help you streamline your laundry routine and transform your laundry management. Whether you're dealing with the overflowing laundry basket or maybe it's a pile of single socks, I've got you covered. So grab your laundry basket and let's jump into this Simply Happy conversation. Thanks for joining me for today's solo episode where I'm sharing the secret to a well-organised laundry process to help you transform this chore into a more streamlined and efficient routine and create a laundry space that's organised and also functional. I'm going to share with you 9 steps to set up this efficient, simplified laundry process for a more organised routine. You can also download this guide if you'd like then to have those steps to help you set this up down the track. So step 1 is to gather the supplies. So thinking about your laundry baskets, you need to think about designating separate laundry baskets for the clothes. I like to have baskets for my whites or light colours, one for darks, and also one for delicate clothes that need to be hand washed. We also have another separate one for sports clothes for my husband when he goes for a run because they particularly smell not that nice, and so we put them to the side and he'll put them on a sports wash. We then also have a designated washing basket to transport the wet washing out and onto the line, and then also to bring it back inside using those washing baskets. So we have 4 people in our family, so there's a basket then for each person to sort the clean clothes into. In total, there's 3 types of baskets. The dirty one is a tall baskets, which take up more of the vertical space. The ones for the wet washing, and then when it's dry, have handles at the side that are quite easy to lift and carry outside or move to the clothes horse if you're using those to dry in wintertime. And the final ones, the one with the clean washing, are big enough to fit all of our clothes that we would have throughout a week. Now, depending on your family, you might have some sort of labeled system for the different baskets so that everyone knows if you are doing whites, colours and hand washing. Also, I suggest having a designated container for single socks so you know where to find them when you're putting the pairs together, because there may be one that missed that wash and its partner is in the next lot of washing. Other items I would consider for your laundry is a clothes airer. I love this one that is tall and it has 4 levels, but it's also on wheels. So it means I can take it out onto our deck when it's sunny, even during winter, but then bring it back in at the end of the day when it's cooler, and it can go over a vent from the heater and it dries. We did have the ones that folded out, but they weren't on wheels, so they were a lot harder to bring back inside if you had them outside. The other thing that I have invested in is the multi-peg hanging airer. Now these are used for socks, so I'll try and pair the socks up together and hang them on that peg hanger, and that has made a big difference in us eliminating those lost socks. The other thing I like for those is also underwear, because they're small and then they can fit on that hanger and then you're not wasting pegs and line space. Something else to consider is the detergent that you're using. Is it an eco-friendly that's quite gentle on your clothing that you're washing? I also have invested in some dryer balls. So they're made out of wool and it helps to reduce static on your washing, but it also helps to decrease the time it takes to dry items as well. Number 2 step is to create a dedicated laundry space. Setting up an area where you're going to do your laundry with like a washing machine. Maybe you have a dryer, maybe you don't. This will really come down to maybe where you live as well and the type of conditions that you have for actually drying your washing. It could be really humid and your clothes wouldn't dry without the dryer, or it might be it's a really wet area that you live in and so you're going to need somewhere to maybe dry things off at the end of the day. And when it comes to thinking about the supplies that you're going to need, it's really good to maybe have some shelving or a hanging organizer basket Or maybe you even have a folding table that you put up and then you take down because you have a really small space for your washing. And thinking about the baskets that you might store your supplies in, I've actually just purchased recently these magnetic caddy that goes on the side of my washing machine. Because it's metal, the magnet sticks to it and it's really close and easy to grab as well. Or otherwise it might be a container above your washing machine and it's really easy to get to, or even a shelf. Step number 3 is to sort the clothes efficiently. Using your designated baskets to store your dirty washing, whether it's white color and hand washing, this is going to help you with sorting and then going through the washing process. It may also be categorized into, like I said before, like your linen or your workout clothes, maybe in separate baskets. Step number 4 is establishing a laundry schedule. So some of the things you might want to think about is how often you want to do laundry. Is it daily? Is it once a week? And also considering how often are you going to be washing the bedding or the towels each week. This may also be about the space you have for drying. I know when we lived in Tokyo, in Japan, we didn't have much space for drying, so we could only do one small load at a time, put it out on our balcony to dry, and we would also have to utilize our dryer. So that might be a part of your decision making around how often you're going to do the washing. So for myself, I do smaller loads throughout the week. So I might do one on a Monday and then Wednesday, and then Friday is our big day where we will do all the linen and also the towels. And that way it's all ready and reset for Monday when we go back into work. I also wash all the kids' uniforms on a Friday. So I make sure that they bring their washing basket down. So that is all ready also for Monday. So that also might determine what your schedule is going to look like depending on your work hours, but also thinking about how many uniforms you have for your kids. And you may have to wash throughout the week on a Wednesday like I do because they don't have multiple uniforms because they're a lot more expensive when they go to high school. Step number 5 is washing tips. I'm going to share a few things that I've learned over the years that might help you. So first thing is thinking about stains as soon as possible, applying a stain remover before putting the clothes in the laundry basket. There's some really great homemade recipes that you can do which will help you to remove those stains, but definitely you need to get onto it straight away. When it comes to dry cleaning, there's a lot of chemicals that are used and it does wear and tear on your material. So really only dry clean silk, crepe, tailored jackets, pants, and where possible, try and spot clean. Say it's a blazer and it just has a small mark, you can try and get that out with just a spot clean instead. Next tip is to turn your clothes inside out. This is going to help prevent the fading of your materials. It's also going to protect delicate fabrics during the washing and drying process. I always try to clean out pockets because there's nothing worse than a tissue that goes through the wash. It's creating more work for you and having to clean it off and maybe go through the washing process again. Also, a great thing to remember is to put your buttons together and also zip up the zipper. This will help to prevent damaging other clothing and from buttons becoming loose and then falling off. Something we're more aware of now is that our synthetic clothing actually release microplastics into the environment. So there's a thing called a Gumpy Friend bag that you can actually place some synthetic clothing in that will help to catch the microplastics. I'm a huge fan of separating colors and whites. I really find that my whites stay a lot whiter by doing this. And we seem to have about equal amounts, maybe slightly more colors, but still we can fill a whitewash quite easily each week. Another thing I like to use is the delicate items bags, and that's great for putting bras so that the little cloths are not going to get caught on other things. Underwear, socks, it's a great way to keep your socks paired together. Stockings, they then don't get tangled around all your items of clothing. Another thing you could use is a pillowcase. I have used pillowcases in the past for socks. If I put them all in the pillowcase and then put them in the washing machine, they then stay together. This is just a great way of preserving all of the other items that are in your washing machine, like the hooks, the zip, the clasps, all that hardware. You don't want it to get caught on your other clothing, especially if they're really delicate things that you may have in the wash. Unless clothes are visibly dirty, washing them after every wear can wear them out a lot faster. There are some of your clothing that you can wear for a longer period of time before washing. For example, bras aren't like jeans. They get sweaty and smelly and they need washing more frequently, whereas a pair of your jeans requires less washing, especially cotton ones compared to lycra ones. A great way to care for them is on a low spin and then just hang them out to dry. If you use vinegar, it will also help to hold that denim color longer, especially if you've got a dark pair. Read recently that they recommend that you wash your jeans after about 6 wears. Another tip is washing in cold water. This really reduces fading and helps clothes retain their shape. The main thing that you need to do is also read the care label and select the appropriate wash cycle for the fabric and also how dirty the clothes might be. Step number 6 is to dry your clothes correctly. Hanging your clothes outside on the line instead of using the dryer is the best way to reduce your energy consumption and also extend the life of your clothes. We want to avoid hanging out your laundry though on a super hot day because that is also going to affect the quality of your clothing. Certain delicate fabrics may not go on a clothesline, but I use my airer to place them flat and also put them under the shade. When I go to hang my washing out, even if it's on an airer or on the clothesline, I like to shake it out twice. This is actually going to help you to get rid of the creases. This means that you're going to maybe not need to iron or steam your clothes. Another great tip for drying your clothes is using those multi-peg hanging areas to match the socks when you're hanging them out. If you use a dryer, use those dryer balls because it reduces the static, but it also helps to reduce the time to dry the items, which is going to save you money in the long run as well. When you do dry your clothes in the dryer, a great suggestion is to take them out straight away. Also helps to prevent wrinkles. If they're left in the dryer and they go cold, you're going to then possibly have more wrinkles in them. Step number 7 is to fold and organize. As I said at the start, I like to separate the clean washing into the allocated baskets of the people who live within the household and put them in the room, and as you're putting them away is fold them then, or you may even have a system where they don't require folding. They might be those wrinkle-free materials that your clothes are made from and you don't need to actually fold them. Or you could be someone who folds them, puts them straight into the different baskets to allocate them out. Now, one of the reasons I do this is separating it is because otherwise you have a mountain of washing and you'll get your kids coming in to find maybe one jumper, one sock, and they pull that pile and they leave it all over the floor. You're nagging them to then come back and put it all back into the basket. This avoids that. They can see their own basket, they can go through it, and it's just one small pile that's getting messed up instead of one giant pile of washing. Using different folding methods can help stack and store linen and clothes neatly. I love to roll some of my clothes, in particular t-shirts, so that I can see them all when they're in the cupboard rather than folded on top of each other and I can't see and I would have to pull them out to see which ones they are. This also depends on what your storage is for your actual clothes. Think about where you're going to keep your towels and also your sheets. Is it going to be for easy access, so they might be stored where you use them, or you might be lucky enough to have a linen cupboard and you keep the towels together, the sheets together. Another tip is to pair socks up as soon as you take them off the line or off the clothes airer or off the multi-peg hanging. This is going to save you time and is also going to help you to match them up and hopefully avoid having that collection of single socks. Another way though, if you do take all the socks in, is I remember when my kids were young that they were the ones who would organize the socks and they would match the colors or match the patterns to find the pairs. Don't forget though to always check your single sock container for any other pairs. Step number 8 is the maintenance of your equipment. It's cleaning out the lint in your dryer, but it's also cleaning your machine, your washing machine, and cleaning the drum. I have shared a video on YouTube, which I'll link to this in the show notes, of how I clean my machine, but it's basically using vinegar and it's putting it onto a wash cycle. But at the end of that, I also then clean the filter and filter tube, which is pretty disgusting. And you can see that in my video. Our final step, step 9, is getting the involvement of others. By getting others involved, this is going to help everyone in the home to know the system, and it's going to help to encourage them to follow it. You may have a designated washing basket in everybody's room, and then you have days when you do the washing. Another one I've seen with clients is having a certain day and that person's washing comes down, they place all that in the machine, so then it's just their washing getting dried, and that makes it that's the washing that's being put away. That's another way of eliminating having to sort washing. A great way to get everyone involved is to have specific laundry related tasks. I definitely think that by having parts of the system, it means it's a little bit more enjoyable. I know if you follow these steps, you will set up a streamlined and efficient laundry process that saves you time and energy. There's no more hunting through that dirty washing or mountain of clean washing for school uniforms or black leggings and a big pile of mess then left in your lounge room. Don't forget though to go and download the free step-by-step guide so that you can refer to it when you're ready to organize your laundry routine. Thanks for listening to Simply Happy Conversations. Thank you for joining me for today's Simply Happy conversation. Have you ever wished for a simpler, more organised approach to handling your laundry? It's time to regain control with our free step-by-step guide designed to streamline your laundry routine and create a laundry space that's organised and functional. Let's transform how you manage those overflowing baskets and pesky little single socks. Head to simplyhappy.com.au to the resources tab to get instant access today. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.